When I bought the building, of course, all this was just a flat roof up here, and I came up and I thought, wow, this is some of the best space in the whole building. The view is amazing. You're just so open, and it's just clear, and you can see all the way to the Mount LeConte, Kleeman's Dome, House Mountain. It's just fabulous. So we kind of started thinking about, well, how do we capture this? How do we do this? So it just kind of evolved. It was very organic. It's grown in pieces. Started with this outdoor section. Then we envisioned, how do we do an indoor bar and capture this same feeling? So that was like, well, the way you do that is you bring in 15-foot solid pieces of glass with no metal mullions between them. And so we were able to figure out how to do that and kind of marry all the space together. So it's very eclectic, it's unique, but I think it makes for a great vibe and very, a local, authentic feel in a building that's 103 years old, a National Register listed property. And so it's just been a joy for us to bring it back to life, and then even take places that had been overlooked before, pun intended, that now we can make a space where you can actually hang out and enjoy it, along with maybe a nice something to drink and sit by the fire with your friends. And I think it's a pretty special place. I'm very proud of it.
So when you first started developing the rooftop,
yes,
was this envisioned as a long-term project, or the first incarnation of this outdoor area? Was that where you planned to have stopped, or had you looked ahead already?
No, I was thinking ahead already, but I didn't have it all in my mind exactly how it really ought to be. So I thought, well, I'll just do the part that's obvious to me and then stop and then let it kind of, brew a little bit, and then we'll decide how to do the rest of it, because you only really get one shot at doing something like this. We're constructing something that's 10 stories up in the air in a congested area downtown. It's just not an easy place to build, and so you want to get it right. And to me it was so important because it's such special space that we didn't want to just kind of run through it with the first iteration and then come back and say, well, I wish we'd have thought of this, or so we thought, let's just do the outside space first. I'll think about it. I'll travel. I'll look at places in other cities and see if I get inspired by a little bit of this or a little bit of that. So that's what we did.
Was there a risk involved in opening this space in the middle of a pandemic? I mean,
the idea was rolling long before, and for me and for my family, in a building like this, we'd take a long-term view. I can remember coming to this building when I was a little boy, with my dad, and getting a haircut down in the basement, that kind of stuff. And so to me, I can't imagine that what we're dealing with, as awful as it is and as tragic as it's been, that it's not going to ultimately pass, and people are still going to want to get together. I know I do. And so we're taking a long-term view. And so, yeah, this has been a pretty rough year for us as well as everybody else. I don't know anybody that hadn't been affected negatively by this whole pandemic. So, but it's going to wane, and we're going to get a new normal, whatever that's going to be and whenever it is. But we plan on being here, and love this building, have loved it for many years, and plan on being here for a long time to come. So it's just part of the process. It's just part of what you go through.